I've got football in about an hour, so I thought, what better way to kill half an hour, 45 minutes than with you guys, people. Deluded, I'm back again. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, and in some cases, good night. Now, I know Arsenal fans were definitely not over the Manchester City game. I'm sure we've got plenty of things to say. Madueke's picked up a knee scare. Romano's allegedly provided some update on Bukayo Saka's future. And a question I wanted to ask you lot, people, and we're going to go over it is, are Arsenal wasting Gyökeres? Like, I think I know the answer to it. I think personally it's a trick question that the content creator sat here is asking. But nonetheless, want to know your thoughts. Hope you're doing well and safe, Nathan. Big up one of the mods, man. Yay. Your essay, your essay, your essay, your essay. I'm good, man. Appreciate that. I mean, in my life, just upset about Arsenal, which is a blessing. I hope you and everyone else tuned in is doing okay. Kwame loves it. DG, so when are you going to move to Winchmore Hill? When you get me to 100k plus subs and the ad revenue in, man. Winchmore's expensive, my boy, but it's the ambition, man. Then some nice houses, man. I went secondary school there. Unfortunately, though, people, just before we get into that, keep your thoughts coming. We sit second, 10 points behind Liverpool, 5 points clear. Liverpool are. Now, there's plenty of things you can say about Liverpool, plenty of things about Arsenal. I just want to know to you lot, people. I just want to ask you lot a question. What? My maths is poor, but we've played 5 games. There's 33 points. There's 33 games, sorry. That's about 99 points up for grabs. Whether Arsenal, we could win, we could lose. Everything you say about Arteta, everything you say about the players, people, and everything in between. There's 33 games. Are Arsenal fans doing too much? I'm actually going to make another video surrounding that, people, because I feel on one hand we are, on another hand we're not. Those with foresight, those that are able to identify patterns, don't think we got here overnight and have been complaining about the same old things. But spare a thought for our football club, because yes, we brought in depth, but it really is being strength tested, isn't it, people? As you can see here, apparently so far this season, Arsenal has had at least one player get injured in every league match. Against United, Havertz; against Leeds, Saka and Ødegaard; against Liverpool, Saliba; against Nottingham Forest, Martin Ødegaard; again, and against Manchester City, Madueke, people. Madueke injured, we're in trouble. It's literally like Madueke's finished his shift and like through the revolving door, Saka's just come back in, because it's annoying about life when a couple of people are coming back, even Benjamin White, obviously Bukayo Saka, I might even be missing out one. One's kind of gone. Now we hope and we cross our fingers that Madueke is okay. At the very minimum, I wouldn't go as far as to say he's proven people wrong, but I think he kind of has. He's proven people right in the sense that, for me anyways, I'd always maintained, I don't think we should have got you, but you're not as bad as people make out. You had a lot of touches in the opposition box for Chelsea, and you have for our football club. You just need to get some goals and assists. Whether you're going to get 10 and 10 or more than Saka or not, that for you in your personal development, that. But to be honest, somewhat he's been a breath of fresh air, man. And just in terms of being another option there. And unfortunately for him, you've come a long way in a short space of time from the petitions and all that kind of stuff. You're getting some momentum, you're getting some minutes, you're getting some confidence. Fans are allowing you, because let's be real, in the opportunities Madueke's been provided, he's been one of the better players. I don't know, he's been the best player. I think for 45 minutes, you're probably our brightest spark against City, but then you came off. I do think we exaggerate, nothing to do with Madueke, but we exaggerate how much of a threat he looked against Anfield, but I do maintain that. So yeah, he's doing his thing, but it's annoying, man. Just when you thought, yeah, Saka's back, Madueke's back, we can be a bit cute and clever with both. Boy, Saka's working overtime. There's every chance. I did think he'd play against Port Vale to a degree, based on what we saw against City, but he's going to play a lot of minutes. Probably going to play against Newcastle. I do think it was interesting when we was chasing the game against City. I say chase, well, we was chasing the game. Martinelli's on the right. That's, for me, that is Arteta saying, listen, don't worry about bending your run. Just gallop towards goal. You're on your stronger foot. Do what you need to do, people. And it's annoying, Arteta, because normally you pick the right tactics and then I question your in-game management. Yet last night was actually a case of, I didn't really agree with the lineup. I do think the in-game tactics were kind of spot on, really and truly, if I'm honest. That's the first time, some of you that were part of the watch along, we sat here and we said, take off Timber, gamble with another attacker. Wanyeri's there, Eze's come on and Saka. I do have to take a bit of tax, because I actually thought initially Saka and Eze's introductions at halftime were like the manager was going for it. I'm starting to believe it was an Eze thing. Madueke had a knock. He's in trouble. Should we see what John Cross has said? Please make sure you're smashing the like button and taking part in the voting. Still have Ethan for the right. You do. And this is why you need a squad. But we're going to have to box very clever, because as you know, the less players or the less pool of players you have to pick from, the more you're kind of running the others into the ground. Like what? Ben White ain't fully fit, even though he's back. He's in and out. Ødegaard, we didn't see you. I'd imagine we must see you against Port Vale, maybe against Newcastle. Saka's back, but we need to be a bit cute and clever with that. Madueke, we're going to read this, but he's gone. Norgard's been in and out. He's back, but he's been in and out. Hincapie's picked up a knot. Havertz is obviously out. Don't want to be disrespectful to Gabriel Jesus, but Gabriel Jesus is out. I only say that because we knew this, in it, kind of thing. So it's annoying, but at the end of the day, it's part and parcel. We're gonna have to get on with it. And I will say this: last season I didn't buy into the rhetoric of the injuries were unlucky. This season, I'll say it's unlucky. I only say that for myself because you've brought in 8 players. You've proactively tried to guard against this scenario. So now I can say it's unlucky, but injuries are not just something with Arsenal. We're going to have to get on with it, really and truly. Like, this is why we're going to have to use the squad. And even me, I don't agree. I do think some of you are going a bit too much over the top with Trossard, but I hear it. And I definitely am with you lot in that. Well, for me, I wasn't surprised to see Marino start against City once again, but it was disappointing because I think we could have went with Eze. And I thought you start Eze in that role. Marino, we get the lead. We start like a house on fire. Marino, at some point, we'll get sub for Gyökeres. He drops into midfield. We see out the game and we keep it moving. But unfortunately, that's not how it panned out. What happened to Noni Madueke as Arsenal star forced to undergo medical checks? I'm sure on social media, you would have seen as well people like him limping. And to go back to what you said there about options on the right, you do have Wanyeri, quote unquote, you do have Max Dowman. I know people don't want to see it, but at the end of the day, it's available to you to put Trossard, Trossard can go over there. Gabriel Magalhaes can go over there. So there's things we can do. We're going to have to box very smart. And I must admit, you do wish Jesus was fit. Noni Madueke is undergoing scans after suffering a knee injury in Arsenal's draw with Manchester City. The England winger Madueke went off at halftime at the Emirates on Sunday, and it was initially thought it was a tactical switch, but it has since emerged that Madueke suffered discomfort in his right knee and is being after being he was sent for medical checks and a scan on Monday. Now, you'd imagine he's going to have several. Club medics are waiting on updates on the extent of the injury, but any layoff would be a blow because he's been in excellent form. Excellent, slight exaggeration, but he's been positive. There's definitely more positives than cons. However, there is hope it will not be a significant layoff, with Mikel Arteta expected to provide an update on Tuesday, obviously ahead of our League Cup game in the League Cup, people. So, yeah. It's annoying. Martin Ødegaard, and again, Arteta is going to shed some light, but Martin Ødegaard's out with a shoulder injury to our knowledge. Hincapie was missing from the matchday squad. Interestingly, though, it says Gabriel Jesus and Kai Havertz are also stepping up their rehabilitation and recovery from knee injuries, but neither are expected to return to full training for several weeks. Some reports say for Jesus, you're going to be back in October. Some say January. I think it was interesting that I always try and read between the lines with Mikel Arteta. He mentioned missing several important players in relation to the City game, and he mentioned Gabriel Jesus. It's mad because when everybody's fit, who the hell makes the bench? Because I think it's easier to leave, quote unquote, Ranieri, Lewis Skelly, and Max out because they're young, but 2 of the 3 have to always be on the bench, in my opinion. But genuinely, if the whole squad's fit, it's one thing talking about the 11, it's another one talking about the bench. But then, as we've been seeing literally from the season kicking off, when is everybody going to stay fit? There has to be a maybe option on the poll. Also, DG for people on the fence. Charles, less said that. Where's the fun in that? You got to vote. I think it's a bit of to and from, man. I think it's a bit of to and from. But what do we make of this Madueke stuff? We're going to, Charles, keep your thoughts and creative juices flowing. Definitely going to circle back over Gyökeres. We may well win another cup competition with this playing style and tactics, but we'll never win the league. I hear it, but whether it's the Premier League, which obviously a Premier League's a league season, but there are some games that make or break. Like, it feels like you win this, you win the league. Like, I'm more used to feel like that as a 30-year-old man, as a young man growing up against, like, fighting United for the title and things of that ilk. So there are them kind of crunch games where I feel in the City game and the Liverpool game, there was moments for that, but I don't think that's the climate right now. You're right. But when we got to the semi-finals and it's sink or swim against Newcastle, we crumbled. PSG, it was amicable, but it was lacking in that regards. There's still this wall we're yet to scale in terms of just getting over the line. And at some point you have to go for it. And Arteta, like, obviously I'm being a bit harsh on the guy, but you're very calculated. And I like that. You're very proactive in that regards off the field, and you're very calculated. I don't think you're instinctive enough. Now, the City game might have been a step in the right direction, because for me, he's a guy that it's almost like Sunday League in that, we're going to keep it tight. We're going to see what they're about. We'll box smartly. When they start showing what kind of fighting style they're coming with, then we might go for it. I think he doesn't go into it like, fuck it, we're going to attack. He has to smell kind of the temperature of the game. And I think you saw that against City, where we was a lot more proactive. Again, you could microscope it and say maybe some subs could have come on even earlier. Me personally, I think I get why you play Marino in that 10 role or 8.5 or right centre mid, but Yeah, I think we just need to go back to basics, man. Creative guys in creative positions, and or at least show us a bit more of that, because there's scope. There are sometimes we're playing 38 games, 50 odd in all comps. There are sometimes you're gonna have to run Marino in midfield or in that 10 or up front. But that should be, you should count on one hand how many times. And we're still not getting what we need to get out of Gyökeres, man. But big up you lot. I still believe in the gaffer, but I hope these Liverpool City matches show him he has to stop being stubborn. Ah, man. Same talking, same faces like last season. Tell me the difference. It doesn't matter who signed. It's annoying that Noni gets injured just as soon as Saka gets back. 1 in, 1 out, still in full effect, even with our deep squad. Thank the Lord we got a deep squad, man. Thank the Lord we got a deep squad, because if we didn't, we'd be in issues. But it's a bit of pill to swallow. But you do have Max Dowman. You do have Wanyeri that can provide options on the right. And to be fair, against Port Vale, like, who do you go with? Do you go with Martinelli through the middle? Do you give him his start? You know, his first start in any competition this season. No, I'm capping. But do you give him a start? Do you start Max Dowman? I want to see Max and Wanyeri and Lewis Skelly. Is White going to be there? What's going to go on at centre half? A part of me thinks he's going to start Saka, though. Give Saka significant minutes, maybe take him off. But you never know, man. You never know. But boy, it'd be interesting. It'd be very interesting. Should we see this? The big lesson learned by Arteta and Manchester City turnaround. Has he learned any lesson? Because I think Arteta airs a lot of comments, like he ignores a lot of things. But every now and again, a journalist asks something, and it's not even anything rude, but they'll ask him something and you can tell it pees him off. Like, for instance, any conversation around Mikel Merino, Zubamendi, and Declan Rice, our midfield trio, he gets peed off. He gets a bit arsey. You didn't talk about that against Bilbao. Respectfully, Gaffer, we did, we did. Very different games, but kind of the same in that it was smash and grab of sorts against Bilbao and City, and we know that's going to happen across the season. But for me as an Arsenal fan, I feel like I'm seeing this. I'm speaking about the same like issues and areas of improvement, and at some point we're going to have serious conversation. Like, you've got the tools. Purely when I'm speaking about this, just in the attacking sense, because I think that's the only thing missing. I don't subscribe to this rhetoric that they want us, that the media want Arsenal of all 38 games from minute 0 to minute 90. We're just running forward and doing that. That's naive. You remember Jurgen Klopp? They used to do that. Then Klopp said, we're going to keep doing that. We're going to add a bit of game management and be a bit cute and clever. That's what I feel. I can't tell you how many times I think Arteta's done that off the top of my head. But yeah, let's see what he said. We cannot control that. They win every match. It's going to be very difficult. This is obviously in relation to Liverpool. But if we play at this level like we did against City, we'll be fine. I hear that, but broski, we didn't score though. On one hand, I like it was, it's almost a full circle moment in a team that used to beat us up. We're very vexed about a point, which we had to gain the point. We're very vexed about that. And we had them sitting in our half. Everyone's seen how Pep's been speaking and the possession and all that kind of stuff. That's great. But at the same time, that's me looking at over the lens of, bro, we've been a bit of a mess for a few years. You've got us back in here. We've arrived in the room now. That should be normal. If we're playing Liverpool home and away, City home and away, not to say we're as great as them, but we should believe we can compete, make them live dangerously. Our thing is, you needed to get 3 points. We needed to get that. And I do think maybe it's us Arsenal fans we're still hurt from last season. We love the summer. We actually giving you your flowers, Mikel Arteta, and saying if you just put the handbrake down, maybe we could have made Liverpool work for that 3 points a bit better. Maybe we could have worked a lot less for 3 points against City, 2 games against 2 title contenders like us. There's many more games to go. As I said, there's 33 games, there's 99 points. But one thing I'm not going to sit here and do is act like if nothing changes, nothing changes. Pre-season, I'm not expecting anything to be amazing. Some people think pre-season is this magical place. You go for a few weeks, all the wrongs from last season are fixed. That's not how life works. I want to see some building blocks. And when I'm now starting to paint a picture, bearing in mind I've been saying these things from last season, pre-season, couple players are here, couple players are not. It's a turbulent time on and off the football field for clubs. But when I strip it back and I look at us during pre-season, Bilbao at the Emirates, only time I was like, all right, cool, Arteta, you're showing me that we can attack. And I actually think you can coach that. You're not doing it, which is my problem, which is you're not doing it. Why are you not doing it? We're in too many scenarios. Yes, it was Arsenal City, but we're in too many familiar scenarios like this, and we're saying the same things. But cool, pre-season, only saw it against Bilbao. Not expecting it against United. Cool, first game of the season, got points. Still, the performance weren't quite there. I know we scored 5 against Leeds, but if we really micromanage how those goals came, where we scored, the same things were there. Being very harsh, but you have to be harsh now because that gets you over the line. What's more harsh than coming up short year in, year out? Same said against Forest. Definitely when it came to, if he potentially did what he did against City, against Liverpool, we don't know what conversations we having. But unfortunately, That's as good as it's got when you strip it all back. We've been in this realm of ifs and buts from the very season we fought for a title. If Holding doesn't come in, if Kivior got a chance quicker, if Saliba never got injured, year after that, all of the ifs and buts, PSG last season, and it is what it is. But the reality is, we need to at some point move away from this. But maybe I'm tweaking. Let me know your thoughts, people. It's still early days in the title race, and that is also the case with Arteta in this impressive squad Arsenal have assembled after 8 new summer signings. People say we got the best depth in the league. Show me. Which is why, as much as I don't think you could have played Marino, should have started him. Some of you are a bit more harsher than myself on Trossard, and I'm not saying these things are wrong, but I do think, even for myself, who shares a lot of these talking points with Arteta's 11, if we're saying we've got a depth and squad and we know who needs to be there week in, week out. We can't always complain when it's not the guy that we want. That being said, we're at that point. Eze needs to be in the 11. At this point, I'll concede defeat on the 10 stuff, even though I think he should play in Ødegaard's role. At left wing, get him on the pitch, feed him. Simple as that. So yeah, man, I'm not quite sure what's going on here, but never before has he had so many options, particularly in attack, and the challenge is finding the right combinations each week. Arteta may argue he did not get his team wrong against City, yet a rare double change at halftime suggested otherwise. Indeed, this was only the third time Arteta has brought on 2 players at the break during a Premier League match, and I'm all about learning from other individuals. Slot's more experienced than him. I've seen Slot hook man in the first half. I've seen him hook man in the second half. I've seen him change things on the pitch and then make early subs. This is the kind of thing that I always think with yourself, Arteta, maybe you would have got if you was exposed to managing a lot sooner. But at the end of the day, you've got enough lived experiences. I'm not expecting to change things at halftime, but all the time. But you get where I'm going. We know Noni Madueke came off. We know Saka came on. We know Marino off for Eze was great. Arsenal dominated the ball in the first half, enjoying 67.5%, which Arteta, we got the capacity to. And we did clearly, in the first half, we had a lot of the ball. Second half, I thought we had a lot of the ball. You probably have to trust your team a lot more. Because clearly you looked at it, we're having a lot of the ball. City are a bit shook. Marino can help us recycle it, but it's not really a that thing, really. Let's get Eze on. So maybe if you had that mentality going into the game, we're having different conversations, positively and negatively. Rice and Marino, who played just ahead of Zubimendi, were too passive and safe with their passing. Yeah, if I'm honest, but at the end of the day, that's not them and their skill set. Marino's got the technical level, but he can't do it quick enough. Rice, it's more the driving and the combativeness and the running in behind and more of his energy, really. I get why Zubimendi's the furthest forward. He can do a bit of everything, but that midfield ain't really gelling. And as much as we focus a lot on our defense, we've got a lot of questions about our attack. It's the midfield battle 9 times out of 10, week in, week out. So there is something. Again, I'm not even expecting Rice and Zubimendi in particular to click. I'm not really a fan of Marino in midfield. He's more playing on the right, but he tried him on the right, tried him on the left. There are some games for it. I do think there's a role for him, but yeah, I don't think that was the way to go around it. To be fair, though, one thing that could be a benefit to Marino and could go against Eze, let me know your thoughts. Michael Richards has said this. Everyone was surprised. We were thinking, but if you actually look in the game, this is in relation to the Bilbao game with Eze. Eze against Athletic Club, basically his defensive work wasn't right at times. He didn't know when to push up or when to drop, but he's a luxury, not a luxury player. But he's a player who wants to get on the ball. I mean, you see what Barcelona do. They defend and whatnot, but they still got good players doing good things. You just have to trust them and make sure you're competent. Man, know when they need to defend, bro. PSG, the best example. He doesn't want to spend a lot of time running back. So I understand maybe he thought I'm going to get overrun by City today. Maybe that's the reason why he went there. I hear it. To be fair, though, as they did track back, even the moment where he tracked back well and he hit the ball into Rice and it went over for a corner and it was heart in mouth moments. So yeah, man. Cup competition is a different type of game than the league. Coupling together is disingenuous, but the truth is the manager can't win a 38-game season. Oh, I'm there involving myself. You're talking in the chat. Gyökeres has scored some goals, but I still feel like at times we aren't picking out his runs and our play in open play still needs to work. Madueke and Gyökeres are up there for touches in the box. How many of them are up there for touches? Where are we for open chances? And you can sit here and tell me 5 games played, 10 goals. That is great. But I've been very critical about the goals going back to, remember when we first started scoring from set pieces and we had different goal scorers. But I said it then years ago and I say it now. And obviously it's changed. We hope Eze and we hope Gyökeres. For the large part of these last 3 years, we all know if you had to bet your life savings and your life, is Saka you're betting on in August to be up there. We know we'll score goals, but we don't know who will score goals. And now it's different because the tools are there, bro. I can't blame the team because the manager did not give the team all the tools they required on the day. The only thing I'll blame the team for, everyone takes responsibility, but that goal we conceded was horrible, bro. The players, that's on you. I can't talk about the players. It's all on Arteta now, him and his Galaxy Mega Mind BS selections. Liverpool retain the PL, simple as that. We don't create enough in open play. It's jarring. How did the 3 DM midfield get bypassed so easily? All probably high up the field. Not an Arsenal supporter, but I have a question. Wouldn't it have made sense for Arsenal to bring former talents like Josh Da Silva and Chamberlain back on frees, both for added squad depth and for potential resale value? I don't think you get too much money back for Alex Oxlade-Chamberlain. I think Josh Da Silva's picked up a knock. Nah, I don't really see how, once a Gooner, always a Gooner and all that, but boy. Ødegaard's been gone for how long? It's almost a no-brainer to let Eze control centrally. The fact that even a question for Arteta is insane. As I say all the time, Wenger, call your boy, bro. Because he's doing a good job. But if he would just tweak 1-2 things, who knows, man? We can easily set up to dominate games for the first half instead of wasting it like yesterday. Keep saying it, but I'm seeing so much parallels to the 2023-24. Remember us complaining about the same things. I think so. Eze is an instant difference maker, as he proved once again. 2 assists now for him. And I understand on one hand, we're trying to figure it out as we go along, but bro, Eze is a known entity. Eze has harmed us in a Crystal Palace shirt, so you know exactly the areas he can do damage. You obviously signed him. Obviously, if you're signing man in August, July, June, you lot last year, I don't know, September, October, you're drawing up papers, and somebody had to have pitched what Eze could be. When you signed Eze, you pitched what he could do. So I need to see it work because Eze's the star of the summer. I know, you've got Gyökeres and the stuff around Zubi, but you cost a lot of money. And it has to, the man's got it, man. He could be a serious player for us, bro. Saka don't have to do it all. I'll tell you, you've actually got the tools. Arsenal have just won one of their 10 matches when Marino and Rice have played in midfield together. That could be a coincidence, to be fair to them. There might be some other contexts behind that. But yeah, we lost to Bournemouth. That was shoddy. That was a shot. Hey, this is why I'm not on it. Because I'm sure we lost against Newcastle as well. In fact, yeah, we lost against Bournemouth and Newcastle. Drew against Everton, Brighton, Liverpool, Villa, Everton. Obviously, that was, I'm sure a couple of those were in January when we was just... Yeah, January last year was dark, innit? Drew against City, of course, and they lost to Liverpool. For me. Bernardo Silva, and I don't care about this because Wenger used to cry about this for years. Arsenal fans used to cry about this for years. They told us to shut up. It's almost a full circle moment in many ways, both in how we had them captain thereof. These lot are saying only one team. Remember when these lot used to say only one team come to play and all of this? Boy, life comes at you fast, It's not fair to play one of the games like this. It's just not right. The reality is we cannot come into one of the most important games in the season with such a disadvantage in terms of rest. If Arsenal was still scrubby with Ramsdale and that, would you have said that? I guess I understand why he's tired because, the poor lad, they played on Thursday. They've had a very compact fixture schedule and, this team only had 34% of the ball. Guardiola got Guardiola since they want to say Arteta got Arteta. Bro, come on, bro. And look at the look. You had all them defenders and couldn't see out the lead, dropping 2 points. Again, that's nothing to do with City. I actually feel Pep's in-game management was great. It was just one of those things. I care about the narrative because when we were sitting back with 10 men, they drew us out. I know for a fact for all of Mikel Arteta's criticisms, if he went 1-0 up and he didn't go for it more and more, which City didn't, and he brought on all these subs just to concede, I know there's inquest, but it's cool. Hey, us, I'm here for it. I just wish we lived in a world where everybody gets the same treatment, but who cares? It's focusing on the positives, brother. City in their own half, moving mad. But Eze, man, is the most difficult thing you want is to have is the final ball. Some attackers, which their job is to finish the fight, get the final ball and the final action in it. That's literally what strikers and wingers are. I know it's just to many. If you don't support Arsenal, yeah, the assist against Nottingham Forest, just a simple ball from Calafiori and everything Eze did, the dropping the shoulder against Liverpool, which is irrelevant, but I wanted to mention that. But the assist against Forest, and obviously with the drama behind this and the final ball, it's refreshing. Get him on the pitch. And I know it's not every game thing. I'm not asking not everyone can play every game, but there's scope for this guy, man. If PSG can do it and Luis Enrique can do it, and them players have been there, done it with a t-shirt, and the manager the same. And I know I'm being a bit disingenuous, bearing in mind France is a physical league. You can do it as well, man. You're acting though. Big up Saka. It was nice to see him back. Did well on the left for some of you hipsters that say that. Romano said on Saka's contract, there are talks ongoing. Arsenal are confident. Conversations have started a long time ago, and Saka is keen on staying. So what, nothing on Saliba? I mean, let's see what Gary Neville has said, just to entertain you. Look, I know it's not entertaining people. I know you don't want to hear it. I think the reason Guardiola has done that is because he's recognizing that Arsenal are a bit, they're a one-trick pony. Set pieces are such a large percentage of their chances and goals that you end up in situations where you've got to have big players in the box and a goalkeeper that punches, which, to be fair, Donnarumma did. My narrative with Arsenal was thinking, is he going to take risks? And the team sheet comes through, and I see that Trossard and Marino are on it. To be fair, I think that more applies to Marino. What risks? The reality is, Eze should have been in the 10. And if Eze plays in the 10, then Martinelli or Trossard have to play off the left. What else is there? Or for me, going into the City game, would have been probably Eze through the 10, Martinelli off the flanks. But then you could make the case of Martinelli's clearly at this moment in time better impacting the game. Which is why, as much as I like our summer and we did our thing, I still thought we missed the trick not getting an out-and-out left winger, man. Like Madueke's played there against Leeds, Eze's played there. I think we could have, obviously, like, we were linked with Rodrigo, but didn't happen, did it? Smash the like button, folks. So yeah, where am I up to? If you're making 2 subs at halftime, it's not gone to plan, which is true, but he's only changed it 3 times in his whole career. And you know that the players you started with are not going to be able to win you the game in all circumstances, which they go down, which is true on one hand. But what if Arteta said, you know what, I fucked up, I smell blood, I think the game's going differently? Because you could flip it and say he's learning. I don't necessarily believe that, because I don't think Arteta needs to learn in that regards. I think he's capable of doing these things. He's just not doing it, which is why I'm saying I'm even on to you more, because I know you can do it, but for whatever reason, you're not. I'm sure you got your reasons. Hey, I'm just on YouTube. You get 50 mil a year. You're the coach. I'm sure you understand football a lot more than me. But I can only talk on the club I know and love, and you lot as well. Smash the like button if you're an Arsenal fan or a pagan. And again, let's be real. Gary Neville touched it disingenuous. Like, I'm at the point, admittedly, he could tell me the sky's blue. I'll swear to you, I'll argue that it's purple. You can't win the league. Arsenal are not creating, on Arsenal's belief, you can't wait to win the league. Arsenal are not creating enough chances in these type of games. I predicted Arsenal win the league, but does the manager and the team and the players really believe, number one, they can win the league? Do they know how to win the league? Well, Arteta's got lived experience with Pep, but as his own man, no, he doesn't. I think the players believe. I think the manager believes broadly, like 38 games, we can get on paper X amount of wins. But in those kind of moments when the pressure's on, pardon me, reverts the type. But yeah, man, for me, let's see what we can do. And then even that, people, you look at goals. Again, you can tell me that we're second for goals. We're tied. And actually, Liverpool are first, but they've only, for the money they spent, pardon me, they only have one goal more. Now it's 5 games in. Liverpool are top. We're probably second. I don't know where United are, but I'm sure they're not far off other teams in the top 6. You can make mad, silly narratives. Saying that, though, when you look at the league table, Wolves are in trouble, isn't it? Wolves are in trouble. Graham Potter might be out of a job by the time he plays Arsenal. Or better yet, West Ham. But yeah, you can tell me we've got 1 goal less than Liverpool. That's cool. I don't think that's wrong, because statistically it's not. But that's the lazy kind of rhetoric, I think, is like, actually, let's use Liverpool as an example. Oh, we only lost because of a great free kick. Yeah, it took a great free kick to break us down. We still have only conceded 1 goal from open play. We weren't terrible, but we all know the issues and what we needed to do. We've discussed it in the first 29 minutes and probably a bunch of times, bro. This guy, Rashid, bro. That's a question about the poll. Define, get the best of. I only bring out the politician stuff when we're out of stuff, man. When we're in endangered waters. Smash the likes if you haven't. DG. Love Calafiori blasting balls 30 yards outside the box. Playboy going for it. Teta peed me off. No, going for it. Bless Cali, bless DG. SJ, pick up yourself. I'm not gonna lie. As a fullback, Calafiori, I hear it. Nosebleed. You scored from that range against City. You thought he was living a movie. It was horrible, though. I was vexed. I still remember how I felt in the watch. I was vexed when he done that. I was vexed. I was more vexed over that than man celebrating when we equalized. I can't lie, man. Arteta has got the backing, but he's made too many mistakes with his transfers. He's had way too much power until this summer when Berta came. Facts, those comments on midfield was wild. Big up Dan, man. Missed your last few streams. You're back now, and you can always watch on the replay, man. You can always watch on the replay. Darky, I hear it, man. Listen, big up yourself, because you might not like my team, but you like me as a content creator. You've been here all day. Okay, Liverpool are winners. We're not. What now? What are we supposed to do? Because there's 33 games, regardless of how it pans out for Arsenal. Like, what more do you want from me? Els, shout out yourself. But yeah, man, like we've got 10 goals. Sorry, we're second for goals, which we're behind Spurs. You can tell me all of that stuff, people. You can really tell me, but to a degree, and this ain't even real data like that, but it all depends what narrative you want to paint. Because sure, banker, set pieces. Well, I thought we'd be up there, but we're not. Where's the other? Total shots. Let's see every team. You don't shoot, you don't score. We're 6th. We're behind Bournemouth. The Bournemouth have better players than us, or is their manager facilitating stuff? And you could even that's club. Let's go and look at players. Let's look at goals for players. Obviously, Gyökeres has got 3. He's tied for second. Haaland and Hugo and Isaac, when he's ready, they're gonna get going. Yeah, but then if you look at actual just total shots, bear in mind, I think Gyökeres has had 7 in the Premier League so far. Look, Gyökeres ain't there. He's not in the top 10 or top 8 or whatever. I don't know why it's not showing all of them. So that already tells you the goal scoring that we're doing in a somewhat is already unsustainable, man. Like, it's not gonna last, bro. Touches in the hot box. Let's see from an Arsenal perspective. Noni's there, to be fair. That's something he was good at Chelsea. Naturally, Gyökeres should be there. But how is Gyökeres? Even that, Gyökeres has got 25. Madueke's got 34. Now, some of that is the position. You know, Madueke is running that players, but... And I don't know where it's gone, yeah, but there used to be a statistic, big chance missed. Where is it? They're lucky it's not here. It's not there. So, yeah, that's Gary Neville's points. Let's see what Theo Walcott has said. He said his first touch is sloppy. Okay. They'll go long quite often, and that led to nothing. That was a general patterning flow of Arsenal. The first touch, Gyökeres, not quite happening for him today. Again, it's the fact it was just a bit sloppy. I think he's a player who likes to go into space, but clearly there wasn't much space to go into today, and they're not playing to his strengths in big games. When Arsenal actually have more possession, I don't think it actually gives Gyökeres his main gifts. It's not about possession. It's more about counter-attacking play and actually just creating. Gyökeres is never going to be like the prettiest. The first touch is baggy. The way he runs is a bit awkward. But it's so beautiful. It's ugly. That man did everything to come to this football club. He's on scoring goals. I don't need you to be the flashiest. Just put the ball in the back of the net, something we struggled with. Make sure you get me 20 league goals and we're calm. I've said it. I said it when I was streaming with Emenya. If this continues, he will do so well to get 15 goals. If everything in the final third continues, he'll do brilliant to get that. And I know everybody saw the leads go and thought, wow. But you can't expect a man to do that 38 games. And to be fair, we know we're playing against low blocks, which that's not just your Gyökeres issue. That is a circumstantial issue of what Arteta is or is not doing right now. He did say this earlier, keeping up the theme with Theo. My question would be, why did it take until the 90th minute for Arsenal to go on the offensive? Not really true, but yeah, not from the start of the game. I'm not normally critical of Arteta, but it feels like he got away with one today. It felt like he admitted he made a mistake with his team selection by making those 2 subs at halftime while his other subs came late on, people. Jamie Carragher and Gyökeres, as I said, he hasn't had a kick today, obviously yesterday, and he might get criticism again on the back of the game today. Jamie Carragher, Gary Neville, Bo, us Arsenal fans were telling you this from the jump. And now the mainstream is like, oh, it's some eureka moment. Anyways, I don't think in any of the 3 games he's had the chance. They haven't created a chance for him. And you got to find a way in bigger games for him to get that. United, 3 at the back, they're going to be a bit more switched on against a bigger team, just like us and anyone visiting. Liverpool the same, City the same. And yeah, I guess there's things Gyökeres could do better, but brother, what's going on? When we're thumping up the smaller teams and space are opening, it's a great day at the Emirates and the sun's shining, and we know we're going to watch match of the day. That's when, like, it's got to be more than that. So I go back to when people keep saying Arsenal's problem is finishing, but it's not, it's creating. They don't create enough. They haven't created one chance for him. Wow, big fan of everybody. But to be fair, they always talk about Arsenal. They can't really be watching us. It is what it is. Gyökeres is 15th on the Ballon d'Or nominations. Declan Rice is 27th. Declan twice. Big up Arsenal, but I need to see how that's going. Boy, Ødegaard, we hope he's back, but we don't know. Madueke, we're praying for the best. We're really waiting to see what Arteta says about Hincapie. Kai Havertz, we hear he's targeting a November return. December/January for Mr. Gabby Jesus, people. I think the Arsenal new board member's giving an interview. Nobody really cares about that. But yeah, he was announced. He's a season ticket holder and all that kind of tosh. Life comes at you fast, don't it, Rodri? Talking about we came to draw and that. What did you lot go to do? This has said Arsenal are going to be close to breaching UEFA's financial fair play rules following their heavy spending at the Emirates. We'll be all right. Wouldn't have sanctioned all of this spending if we wouldn't have got away with it or been able to do what we needed to do. So is what it is. Another manager can do it, not Arteta, because as a manager, he don't seem to have the ability to work on his faults, on how to play Gyökeres with a support striker to feed him, then to have a winger find him in the box. To be fair, yeah, his creativity's got to come for every player from everywhere. It can't just be Eze or Ødegaard or Wanyeri feeding Gyökeres. The wingers need to be doing it, late midfield runners. And likewise, Gyökeres' runs and link-up play, that has to facilitate other goal-scoring opportunities. DJ, I think we can expect more bonehead moves by Arteta. Kiting went back even if injured. I think Martinelli 10 or striker if possible. Nah, Martinelli 10 is madness. Well, going with all the Martinelli hate now. Decision making been on point for his sub appearances. He's starting versus Newcastle. I still think I'm in an emotional headspace because I understand going away from home, being solid defensively, all of that kind of stuff. And I know the threat that Eddie Howe's midfield is a very functioning unit. We know the threat they pose. But we're not Barca, but maybe Barcelona was an inkling. I can't lie. And just because of the City second half, fuck it, man. Just put out all the attackers. Martinelli, Eze, Saks, Gyökeres, Rice, Zubamendi. Let's go do this, man. Let's go do this. But then again, Newcastle actually might be a game for Trossard. But then Trossard's got the same thing we're saying about Martinelli in that. Can you do it? Like, can you do it like when you're starting? Yeah, Martinelli 10's mad. I'd rather Saka do that. We always praise the defense, best defense in the league. A wonder free kick and Haaland. It's true. But then, when have we what have we done in that? What wonder free kick has come from us? Like, what have we done? Like, what keeper have we the two Donnarumma and Alisson, bro? They should have highlights reels based on the attack we have. They ain't gonna have too many. Donnarumma done well. Donnarumma's quietly been going about his business, and Alisson's Alisson. Let them defend. Let the defenders defend on the break. Of course, we're live, man. Kai is definitely coming back in for the top games. We're gonna need Kai. I think Timber is the only guy to play a ball in behind for Gyökeres yesterday. One thing I'll give Trossard. Trossard was trying to feed Gyökeres. He was at any given opportunity. I won't cap. I think he did. Everyone does have a different job to do. Hit the like button, subscribe, and hit the bell so you don't miss streams or uploads. Tell them again, appreciate you, man. The only instruction that was maybe given by Arteta in any of his 3 goals was Calafiori playing the ball over the top. He's the only striker in the league that has to play with 3 TMs behind him. None of Gyökeres' goals has anything to do with Arteta. We all say it's early doors, but every single point, matters in a high pressure season, especially for us. There's no time to be throwing away points like this. Play your best players, man. For me, it's a thing of have no regrets. I'm not expecting to win every game or like nothing in life's a given. If you got no regrets and you lose to City or Liverpool or whoever, fair play. But I know Arteta, you have to be thinking about coulda, woulda, shoulda in terms of Liverpool. Definitely coulda, woulda, shoulda against City. Coulda, woulda, shoulda 2 years ago against Bayern. Last year, twice against PSG. Newcastle in the cup. So yeah, like for me, it's pattern recognition. Yes, it's early in the season. There's 33 games. Anything can happen, but we need to eradicate these issues. As they have an IQ, nothing to do with Arteta. They gave us space. They opened up. You open up against Arsenal, we're living. You don't, hate it or love it, show the man them some appreciation and hit the like button. Appreciate you. I couldn't be too mad at that shot, despite it's a low percentage weak shot, Hail Mary. I can, man. Because at least shoot like a professional footballer, bro. That was tired, Calafiori. We should stop saying only 1 goal, only 2 goals scored against us. And the expression, players can't express themselves. DG, we're going to have some real uncomfortable conversations if we see this again in Newcastle, because I don't even think Arteta knows how to coach a true attacking side anymore. I can't lie, man. All of this, I've got PTSD and stuff and hurt from a few years ago. It's done now, man. It is what it is. Millwall have taken the lead against Watford. That's where the real action is, the Championship. Arteta's fundamental core play style is anti-striker, so no. I think for him, his attackers, or the ones he bets on to get goals, are his wide men, and he sees the striker as another midfielder. Man said Wolves evolved into Chihuahuas. This guy. Let the handbrake off. 3 years and Arteta still extended till 2027. We are effed if he's still here while both players are in their peak. Let the handbrake off. Let the defenders show their qualities. The truth is these defenders have a massive initial protection with these off-the-ball tactics. And don't forget, you got Zubamendi is switched on defensively. You got Rice as well. You got quality defenders and you got Rice. Big up, DG. Love the work rate. Big S, come on. You have to, man. You have to. We're trying to end the year strong. January 2021, since then, I was here. Big up, DG. Raw, 4 years. Big up yourself. January 2021. Where was Arsenal at that moment? Let me see for context. January 2021 Arsenal results. I don't know. When I hear 2021, I don't know why I'm just thinking of Pablo Marie. Darkness. Hey, it was dark. No, I went that dark. To be fair, January 2021. Oh my days. The West Brom game when we finally scored some goals. And Smith Rowe scored against Newcastle in the FA Cup. Stinky 0-0 against Palace. Battered Newcastle at the Emirates 3-0. Lost to Southampton in the FA Cup. Then beat them in the league. 2-0 with United. Lost to 10. Well, had 10 men. Lost to Wolves. David Luiz sending off in it. Then we lost to Villa. Oh my days. Being an Arsenal fan is not easy, you know. Trenches. We've come a long way, but I'm not complacent, man. Teely with this whole goal. He's not changing. I don't know why DJ and others keep saying he will change after 5 years in crazy faith. Wait, where did I say? I have never once said Arteta will change. Like, by all means, slew me for my opinions, but slew me for what actually I said. I have not said Arteta will change. I don't know him. He's not my brethren. I don't even know if he can build it. Like, I don't know I didn't say he said. I just don't agree with the rhetoric that he can't coach attacking football. You're choosing not to. If I could have a conversation, I'd love to know why. I never said he will change. Arteta hung Gyökeres out to dry with the TCT. He scored that banger with his weaker right foot against West Brom. I wonder how he's getting on. So it's almost 5 years. Then 2021 December, we had the biggest concerns to date about Arteta. Finished 8th in his first season. Wait. Damn, well, I don't know about you, but I'm not a result supporter. I love my team regardless. Damn, what did I do? Same for me for. I support Arsenal regardless. But my support, I'm not saying you're saying this, but my support is never going to let me just brush under the carpet and act like everything's mad dead or everything's mad positive. I'm going to call it out where I see it. I wish we won against City and we're talking with chess and doing mad stuff, but is where it is, man. He can defeat teams like Forest and Bilbao with Marino, Rice, Zubi because the op attack is trash. Teamwork would help put the team to know their positions and covering positions. It's football. Madueke played well versus City. It's sad to see him injured again. That's why he was substituted. Saka. It's upsetting, man, but we should be used to this, man. But he had Ødegaard and Eze on the bench against Liverpool. He should have been sacked from that. Damn. I just hope this is a dark period and we end up doing something. But honestly, I don't know, folks, man. Walked into this season thinking, yeah, Gaffer, it's on you. I still believe that. P's have been spent. You got the tools as well. Like, you look through our squad, there's some players we don't want, but there's not a single player you can say is dead. Like, there's been times you've had Cedric, you've had Bellerin, you've had this one and that one. Like, nobody's dead. Even the ones we want gone. Martinelli's not dead. Like, Trossard's not dead. Kai, like, this is actually a good bunch of players, or a bunch of players that could get over the line in something. Why should we have to suffer with the quality we have? Boy. Gyökeres there for the ball. He has different movements off the ball, but that is football. Welcome to the team. How long's Madueke out for? I don't think we're going to know. Apparently, he's had a scan today. You'd imagine he'd have a scan tomorrow and every other day in it as it develops. I hope, at best, I hope it's just some swelling. I hope there's no damage, but God knows, man. Honestly, God knows. And it's shame for him because he was, more than anything, finding a little bit of confidence. Because, again, maybe it's in the interviews and the way when he signed for our club, you could see a lad feeling more comfortable. And whatever I think about Madueke, the man's a human, or anyone, he's a human being, innit? He's not an idiot. He knows the noise he walked into the club. So it's nice. We have a GQ model as a coach who starts 7 defenders with Trossard. 7 defenders. I mean, we can criticize Mikel Arteta, but we don't need to be disingenuous, man. We don't. But yeah, you don't get over the line, but the writing should be on the wall. But Wenger, we took the free-flowing football you had us playing back then. I'm sorry. If only that Wenger, just call your boy, man. Call your former player, man. Marino's a defender. Take your word for it. Just because the chef has all the ingredients don't mean he can cook for Michelin star meals. And we need to get a sous chef who can. Before the game, where I saw Saks made bench, I was hyped knowing we wouldn't have to rush him back. So much for that privilege. Who knows, man? No, Marino is not a defender. He plays the 8 for Arsenal. Arteta sats for Amarin and we win the league in an alternative universe. I don't know, you know. We need Zidane. I don't think he's got any desire to be a club manager anymore, man. I think he's going to keep it cutting and just, I don't know when, but the France job, that's him. He's Kushti. The fact that Madueke is already picking up knocks is concrete proof now that it's the training regime, not the fitness or physio. Big up Riley. It's jarring, man. Big up Nathan. It's jarring more than anything. The attack on the goal was good. City are a good side. Still looking at the positioning table, looking spooky. How else are we truly going to unlock your... You know what? I hear it. You know, based on that angle, I hear it. I'll tell you, it's a you thing. Because I'm already having thoughts about copying the new striker in the summer. But I'll tell you, come on, man. You knew Gyökeres was not your ideal striker on paper. Make it work. You know you have to tailor things, man. Please. Dalman breaking the Prem and Champions League goal record are the only things I'm looking forward to this season. Nah, I need silverware, man. I need a trophy. I need a trophy. By God's grace, the Prem and the champs, or the champs, I need a trophy. Ideally, if it's not that, the FA Cup, something needs to rise up in Islington. I need silverware. There's no way around it. I actually don't want to hear it if there's no silverware. I actually don't want to hear about context and all these things. I'm very balanced. You don't know, we'll sit here and we'll talk about all of that stuff, but I'm not here for it. Silverware stuff now. Over the line. The players need it. The fans need it. Arteta, you sure as hell need it. We ain't winning the trophy with Arteta, DG. We won 3. You complain about the amount of fixtures, but you intensify the training regime, or at the very least make it make sense. He knows his time is limited. It's going to be long because Saliba and Saka haven't extended yet. I mean, I honestly believe if Arteta doesn't win silverware, you're not getting sacked. Does an FA Cup keep him in his job? 100% it does. We might not be happy, but then at least you've got some silverware behind you. You need to win for the streets. You need to win the Premier or the champs. Pardon me personally, I think you're staying regardless. As long as you get Champions League football, there's some level of progression and there's some context. Nothing's happening. Nah, we're winning silverware this year, bro. You must blame at times the skills of other teams. Yeah, that's cool, man. But if we're as good as we want, like, we can't keep talking about that. No, there needs to be silverware. We definitely need a trophy of some sort this season. Saka will extend. It's Saliba that I think. But then Upamecano and Konate are linked with 3 transfers to Real Madrid. They can't have everyone. Brother, Saka leaves this team. I'm done watching football. Saka must be your first football love, man. You know, big up Bukayo Saka, but Thierry Henry left my football club, bro. You think anyone could break my heart anymore? Like, come on. All them tears were gone. DG, you're the first one to admit from the streamers we won 3 trophies, a medium, 1 FA Cup, 2 minor community shields. We did, but like, yeah, he needs to win Premier Champs, my boy. We are just negotiating salary with Saka and Saliba. Pretty sure they have 3-4 years left on their current contracts. Saliba and Saka, 3-4 years. My maths is off, but 2027 don't feel like 3-4 years. I hope you're right, you know. As long as we finish anywhere from 2nd to 5th, Arteta's keeping his job. Now, you get top 4, decent little run out in the champs. You're not getting sacked. That's why I think there's validity, valid claims in persisting with the guy and more so sacking the guy. But for me, I find it boring talking about it because I don't think it's going to change. I feel like the York deal taking so long is what held up a lot of moves we should have moved earlier. I hear it, man. I hear it. Can't lie, people. As I said, it's a shorter stream than usual, purely because I'm going 5-a-side. Need to get ready now. So, yeah, big up you lot. It's been our 3rd bit of live content. If you haven't smashed the like button, please make sure you're doing such. Make sure you're using your hype points on the video. And most importantly, all of you lot, stay safe, stay blessed. We'll link up again tomorrow or something. And we will be doing a watch along for Port Vale. You always just like